science programs incorporating research-based approach into curriculum and instruction. Several examples of curriculum and instruction are provided. Research on learning. The National Research Council or NRC reports how people learn brain, mind, experience, and school. How people learn bridging, research, and practice. How students learn science in the classroom. Taking science to school, learning and teaching science in grade K to 8. Ready Seat Science, putting research to work in K to 8 science classroom. So, ang research on learning is kanang ang National Base Council is na sila gi-conduct na research or reports ba na murag concerned sila on how people learn. So, it is important to us no na maka-learn ta para ma-develop ato ang knowledge and ato ang critical thinking. Students come to class with preconceptions. The following findings are from How People Learn Bridging Research and Practice, Dinovan, Bransford, and Pellegrino, 1999. Students come to class with preconceptions about how the world works. If their initial understanding is not engaged, they may fail to grasp the new concepts and information that are taught, or they may learn them for purposes of a test but revert to their preconception outside the classroom. So, ang student come to class with preconception, which is kanang dapat ang mga estudyante when they are come to class dapat na sila preconception, which is na sila opinions or idea or we say experience. So for example no, kita na mga major in science dapat naatay opinions or kanang idea about sa atong gitik na course. Bali ang mga teachers dire is ilang gid ang understanding sa mga estudyante, and then kung naay kanang some sense of kanang kulang sa ilang idea is ma-provide na sa teachers para mari-construct ang ilang ideas and para ma-develop pod ang critical thinking sa estudyante. Competencies requires a conceptual framework. A second findings refers to the conceptual foundation of a curriculum. To develop competencies in an area of inquiry, student must have a deep foundation of factual knowledge. So dapat ang estudyante is na sila'y kanang which is na sila'y malalim na pag-unawa. Number 2, understand facts and ideas in the context of conceptual framework. So dapat kabalo sila mo understand sa mga kanang fact and na sila'y ideas about sa context sa conceptual framework. And then 3, organize knowledge in ways what facilitate retrieval and application. So dapat ilahang i-organize ang ilahang knowledge para ma-facilitate nila kung unsa pay kailangan nila na ma-process or matun-an or unsa pa ang ilahang need na i-apply. Thinking about problems. A metacognitive approach to instruction can help students learn to take control of their own learning by defining learning goals and monitoring their progress in achieving them. So, ang thinking about problems is kanang findings related ni siya so students' ability to think about their thinking. So, ang metacognitive is makatabang ni siya sa mga student to monitor and assess the learnings or understanding or performances of the student to achieve their goals. So these 3 findings tell us that a science curriculum should knowledge the fact that students already have ideas about objects, organisms, and phenomena. So atong tulo na gitakal na ko na finding is makatabang na sa mga estudyante to enhance their ideas and learning to achieve their goals. So para po na sila ideas about sa object, organisms, and phenomena. So in construct to many contemporary program research on learning, gi-indicates dato na ang curriculum ug ang instruction dapat mag-include sila clear conceptual framework as well as facts and clear na information para ang mga estudyante is ma-enhance ang ilahang own learning through self-reflection and through self-monitoring. Any science curriculum provides an answer to the question, what should student know and able to do? So, kanay mga kanang ang ini science curriculum is kana ilahang dapat answeran na mga questions, which is what should student know and be able to do. So ma-discuss na nako na. So important qualification. The curriculum should be structured using a conceptual foundation. So which is dapat mag-observing or mag-analyzing sila sa mga information or given topic. Goal of learning with understanding includes so factual knowledge based on a conceptual frameworks, which is dapat na sila'y magin or ma-learn na mga facts information para madugangan pod ang learning sa mga estudyante. A science curriculum should be structured using a framework that includes ideas central to disciplines, such as the structures and properties of matter, biological evolution, and geochemical cycles for the physical, life, and earth sciences respectively. So, if science curriculum ka, ang dapat hatagan nimo kanang main focus is related to science, just like the central to disciplines such as structures and properties of matter, mga related siya sa science, biological evolution, and geochemical cycles for the physical life, and earth sciences respectively, which is kanang main focus jud nimo is kanang related to the science. It's because science curriculum ang gud imong gitik. So, what should students be able to do? Identify questions and concepts that guide scientific investigation. So, dapat ang mga students should identify questions and concepts para ma-develop ang ilahang context of investigations to identify the questions. Number 2, think critically and logically to make relationships between evidence and explanation. So, the student should be think critically and logically para ma-enhance ang ilahang critical thinking. Number 3, formulate and revise scientific explanations and models using logic and evidence. So, para makabalo sila to formulate and revise scientific explanation through logic and evidence. So, dapat ang mga students should be formulate and revise scientific explanations. And then number 4, recognize and analyze alternative explanations and predictions. So, dapat mag-recognize sila para makabalot sila to analyze sa mga alternative explanations and predictions. Communicate and defend a scientific argument. So, students should be communicate and defend a scientific argument, which is kanang dapat ang mga student is makipag-communicate sila, and then if ever na mga argument is dapat ilahang i-defend ang ilahang kaugalingon. So, by this point, it should be clear that designing science curriculum is a complex process. So, this is the kanang example sa framework for high school science curriculum. BACS Science and Inquiry Approach Framework for grade 9 to 11 for the high school framework ni siya sa science curriculum. So, units Science as inquiry. So, sa grade 9, ang ilahang makuha is questions and concepts that guide scientific investigations. Sa grade 10 is designing of scientific investigations, communicating scientific results. Sa grade 11 is evidence as the basis for explanations and models, alternative explanations and models. So, physical science, structures and properties of matter, structures of atoms, integrating chapter. Sa grade 10 is motions and forces, chemical reactions, integrating chapter. Sa grade 11 is interactions of energy and matter, conservation of energy and increase in disorder, integrating chapter, which is kanay mga kanang framework sa grade 9 to grade 11, which is kanay ilang mamit ba na mga subjects. Research on teaching. Incorporating an instructional model into the instructional materials bring the materials as close as possible to facilitating the best interaction between teachers and students. So, sa research on teaching, dili ma-enhance ang learning sa estudyante if walay interaction between teachers to students. So, ang interactions between teachers and students is the key ani. The BACS 5V instructional model. Number 1 is engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. So, sa engage is dapat ang mga instructors iyahang i-assist ang iyahang mga students, ang ilahang mga estudyante to become engaged in a new concept by conducting some other short activity or hatagan nato sila mga questions ba para ma-develop ma-engage sila sa ilang critical thinking. Number 2 is explore. So, ang learners dapat ilahang i-explore ang ilahang understanding or knowledge by conducting questions or di kaya mag-survey sila. So, explain. So, pareha sa akong gibuhat karon para ma-explain nako ang report is nag-present kog PowerPoint presentation ug akong gi-share ang ideas about sa teaching science contemporary challenges para pod makabalo mo. So elaborate. For example, kita na mga major in science, dapat mag-conduct ka ng additional lab activities para pod ma-elaborate ato ang understanding. So, evaluate. So, diri is evaluating which is kanang makatabang ni siya both learners and instructor para ma-assess niya ang understanding sa mga estudyante kung na-meet ba niya ang learning outcomes, kung naaba siya naging na mga knowledge, mga ingana. So, in addition to the studies documenting student learning, naay other studies na gi-indicate nila na ang 5E instructional model katong akong gi-discuss na 5E is maka-perceive siya as a valuable for professional development o makatabang po niya sa mga teacher to reconsider how they teach.